I think I speak for everyone when I say that we're all just dying to hear some more about GTA 6. Back in 2023, in December, that first trailer showed us all what we've been waiting for such a long time. Since then, we've heard virtually nothing about the game. Sure, the small leak here and there, but honestly, it hasn't been really anything significant. Officially and unofficially, it's been dead silent, and while the mapping project is doing an excellent job at still digging through all the footage available, both official and unofficial, we don't really have anything. And I really wanted to mention the mapping project to once again just highlight how incredibly impressive it is. If you have never looked at it, I highly recommend it. I'll try to leave a link in the description down below so you can check it out for yourself. But not to drift off too much from the subject that I want to touch on, it's obviously the big question. When are we going to hear more about GTA 6? And I'm sure that some of you are going to be looking at this video and think, oh, here's YouTuber number 27,000 saying, I have all the answers. I'm aware, I know. But when I see a Reddit post like this one, I'm starting to wonder if we're once again going a little bit too much into the hopium-copium things without having too much facts. At least it is using facts, but I'm not entirely sure if these facts are being used correctly, given that there's a few vital things in there that aren't inherently in the same line as we had back then. To touch on this Reddit post real quick, to kind of pick it apart a little bit, and with no disrespect meant to the person who wrote this, obviously a lot of folks on Reddit and just in social media in general, passionate about the game, want to know more about it, but I figured I'd give my 2 cents for those who might want to know. To read through this really quickly, one of the things that they say is that if we don't get a release date, we can be 99% sure that the game is delayed. If it's delayed, we may get an announcement by Rockstar this Thursday or the next earning call in May. The reason as to why is because they say that Take-Two is a public traded company, like we're waiting for a release date. Meanwhile, the investors are also waiting about the news because of financial situation, and they can't really lie and hide delays. The investors also need answers in order to know if they can keep the money in the stock or not. They back this up with the history in previous earning calls. So GTA 5, RDR2 and GTA 6 all saw like a release window. This is all true, but this is where my counter argument comes, is that having seen tweets from a golden source on Twitter who has been absolutely amazing and also deserves very much a follow on your Twitter account if you have one, is Abbe for mij. And that's probably the first and last time you hear me speak Dutch in a YouTube video, so don't get too excited. Abbe is the former technical director at Rockstar Games, all the way up to GTA 4, so he has some in the nose. One of the things that they said is that they didn't really know that they had to delay the game until like a couple of months before release. The release window right now still very much seems to be accurate. Another thing too that I personally feel that this Reddit post is missing the mark on is the fact that the second trailer for both GTA 5 and RDR2 had already been released at that point and had a more pinpointed release date, which officially speaking, if we're just going from the marketing material, we simply do not have. Most folks are still under the impression that it's coming out in 2025 and not under the impression that you get from the investors call, which is fall 2025. We know from rumors and speculation and things behind the scenes that the original release date was planned for early 2025, so technically it's already been delayed. Yes, I am inclined to also agree with the fact that the silence around the game has been rather worrying, but also kind of not. The way that I'm kind of seeing it is because there are some obvious reasons as to why we haven't heard much about GTA 6 yet. And this is the part where we're going to go into some significant dates for upcoming Rockstar things. Bear with me. The first date is obviously the obvious one. February 6th, the next investors call from Take-Two, where they tell everyone, we've made a lot of money, and by the way, GTA 6 is still coming out. Now this is the date where I personally think we're not going to be hearing anything about GTA 5, aside from maybe hearing once again that the game is still scheduled for fall 2025. However, everyone is currently speculated obviously that before that we're going to be hearing something about the game, because investors calls typically means also announcements, because then they have something something to show for in said investors' calls. However, I think everyone is kind of forgetting about a teeny tiny little thing called GTA 5 PC Expanded and Enhanced. That was announced late last year for, well, 2025. We don't have an exact release date, but we can be pretty well assuming that it's gonna be within the first half of this year, given the fact that fall 2025 seemingly is still reserved for GTA 6. Also keeping in mind that there's other games out there this year coming to the Take-Two portfolio, a little game called Mafia: The Old Country, which personally I am very much looking forward to. And I don't think that Take-Two wants to kind of like clash too much with their biggest franchise in the portfolio, Grand Theft Auto. So that leaves summer 2025 impossible, fall 2025 impossible, and well, Borderlands 4 we don't have a release date for yet, but I guess we might hear about it soon. But we do know that Take-Two has said that they want both Mafia and Borderlands 4 to be as far away from GTA 6 as possible, because just like the rest of the industry, they think they cannot outsell them or sell any copies of any video game or anything, because literally everyone is going to buy that. So I personally think we will be hearing more about the PC version before we hear anything about GTA 6, probably sometime this week, if not next week, and if there's new news at all, then I guess we'll hear about it afterwards. Regardless, the PC version by all means is going to be announced and promoted first before we get into that. The release date for the PC version, I'm personally speculating it's going to be like a March, April type of thing, maybe slipping into May, but I guess time will tell, because the next investors call is in May, but we'll touch on that in just a second. The second significant date is going to be in probably March. If the Clockenbell Farm raid from GTA Online is anything to go by, that probably means that the Mackenzie Airfield hangar and that whole part 2 of the Agents of Sabotage DLC. Yes, I nearly forgot the DLC name that came out in December. It was that interesting. Then Mackenzie Airfield hangar should be coming out sometime in March, meaning that releasing any information about GTA 6 before that is probably not that good of an idea. The reason why is, well, it takes away attention from GTA Online. As we've probably seen, the moment anything regarding GTA 6 gets released, no one has any interest in anything else but that. And I think Rockstar kind of realized that when they released the trailer for it, and I guess they're not entirely moronic and they'll figure it out by themselves. Which leads us to the final, most important date, which is the investors call that is probably going to happen sometime in May. I am personally of the belief that around May time, maybe like before the investors call, probably we'll start hearing some more whispers and some more things about GTA 6. But it obviously also comes down to, I guess, the next investors call in February, next week on the 6th, whether or not it still says fall 2025. It is obviously entirely possible that I'm completely wrong, but to me, this makes the most amount of sense. I've said for months that if there's two things that need to be done before GTA 6 can be getting all its marketing and all its glory, is RDR2 1 for PC and GTA 5, the expanded enhanced version for PC. There's only one of those remaining, and the moment that the PC version of GTA 5 is out of the way, the floodgates are open for GTA 6 and the door is wide open to be promoted to their heart's content. On top of the fact that, generally speaking, it's 6 months before the release that they really start promoting their new game. Which, as you might have expected, fall doesn't start until September, which once again goes into line with the May time, March time, April time, something along those lines. It is very much a situation of get everything else out of the way first, so that we can then fully focus on GTA 6. Which also probably means that maybe in the summer DLC we'll have a thing like we had with RDR2, where we get some collectibles to go for, which you can then use to unlock something in GTA 6 online. Or in the single player, we don't know. Regardless, those are just some of my 2 cents. Let me know yours in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.